This is week 20 classwork, continuing our review from last semester. We're going to be doing a worksheet on one-step equations, then a worksheet on two-step equations. I'm going to just get you started on the first three questions here, just to make sure that we have our ground covered. So v divided by 7 equals 6. We are asked to solve for v. In this case, our variable right here is being divided. So because this is a one-step equation, we know we only have to do one thing. If division is happening, then we're going to have to do the opposite, which is multiply. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 7, which is in the denominator here, and that's what you do. Whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other side. Multiplying this side over here, the left side, by 7 allows us to cancel out the 7s, leaving us with just v, because 7 over 1 would be the same as multiplying by 7, and then 7 divided by 7 is just 1. V times 1 is v. 6 times 7 is 42. Number 2, if our variable is being multiplied, then we do the opposite operation. So we need to have n by itself. So we're going to divide this by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times n is just n. So now we have n by itself. However, we divided the left side by 5. So we have to divide the right side by 5 because of the equal sign right here. Negative 40 divided by 5 is negative 8. Number 3, x plus 2 equals negative 6. So this is called a constant. And whenever it's being added, we do the opposite because we want the variable by itself. So we're going to subtract off the 2 so that x is all by itself. So what does x equal? Well, not negative 6 because we have to balance the equation. If we subtracted 2 from one side, we have to subtract it from the other side. Negative 6 minus 2 equals negative 8. And that's the answer. Next worksheet, number 1, two-step equations. First step is add or subtract the constant, then multiply or divide the coefficient. So since our constant is being added, we will subtract it. First, we add or subtract the constant, making sure to do it on both sides. Carry down the 3n. This goes away. 2 minus 2 is 0. Equal sign comes down. 14 minus 2 is 12. Now we multiply or divide the coefficient. Do the opposite of whatever's happening. So if it's multiplication, we divide. 3 divided by 3 is 1. That'll get n all by itself. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times n is n. However, we divided the whole left side by 3. So we're going to have to divide the whole right side by 3. N equals 4. Sorry, it's getting a little crammed in there. Let's go down here to number 6. First thing we do is add or subtract the constant. In this case, the constant is negative 1. I'm going to ask you to try this one on your own. Okay, so first thing we do is we add the opposite of what the constant is, and we have v over 2 equals, is it 4? Nope, because we need to do the same thing on both sides of this equal sign here. What thing is that? Adding 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, now we have to multiply or divide the coefficient. In this case, the coefficient is 1/2. Okay, so we're going to have to multiply by that reciprocal, which is 2. So that'll get the 2 to go off of the denominator here, leaving us with just v. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times v is just v. So we're good on that side. Now v is all by itself. However, this 5 is not going to be here. That would be wrong, okay? Because we need to do both we need to multiply both sides by 2. So we'll multiply this by 2. 5 times 2 is 10. V is 10. And we're done.